don't even know. Has anybody ever figured out how much wood a woodchuck chucks? If a woodchuck could chuck wood? Do you know? Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me here today at Re-Ritten Vintage Homestead. We had some rain yesterday. I'm out here in my cornfield on a fact-finding mission. So here's what I want to find out. Number one, I think I have some moles in here that are uprooting my corn. And I want to see if I can find some holes, track them down. I also planted all kinds of pumpkins, and the ones on the outer edges are doing great. I want to see if the ones on the inside are doing anything. And also too, I have some things to kind of work out in my head. So a lot of people work out their stress and their ideas and things in different ways. And you know, they might do artwork, they might read, a lot of people exercise. Well, for me, that's coming out and pulling weeds and digging in the dirt. As my husband says, wallering in the dirt. That's what you'll find me doing. And I thought while I was working these things out today and pulling weeds and whatnot, that maybe we could talk about them. But something that has really been on my mind the past couple days, I've been, you know, listening to current events, and I've been trying to learn some new things about what's going on. And it just made me wonder, and you guys, this is totally open for disagreement or conversation. I am by no means an expert. I'm just sharing with you how I feel and how I'm interpreting things. But do you think that we as citizens of the United States at this point in time in our country's history, do you feel like we're being sacrificed? So let me tell you kind of what I mean by that. The other day, the Energy Secretary was asked by the press about gasoline prices. Marshall's out here working out stuff too. And so his response was that we as Americans basically need to suck it up because this is a sacrifice that we have to make for the new liberal world order. It isn't new, I'm sorry. It's to keep the liberal world order. And so, number one, that kind of sounded like Nazi Germany to me, but it isn't. After World War II, you know, countries band together to make sure that what had happened to them would never happen again. And they formed different organizations and joined together NATO. And that was called the New Liberal World Order. This administration has been blaming gas prices on Putin's war, right? But Ukraine is not a part of NATO. And I can't tell you how many billions of dollars we've sent over there. Yes, we are wonderful people. We are. We hate to see anyone downtrodden or starving or being attacked. And you know, that was the argument from the administration, was that, you know, they're a sovereign country and we really need to stand up for sovereign countries. But we're a sovereign country too. And as we know, you can just Google it. And it doesn't matter what news source you get it from. Thousands and thousands of people are coming into our country illegally every day. And they're not just coming from Mexico wanting a better life. They're coming from Honduras and El Salvador and Russia and Ukraine, Iran, Iraq. They're coming from everywhere. And we're not fully vetting these people. So I feel like our president is sacrificing our safety, yet trying to stand up for another country's safety over our own. And at the same time, bankrupting us with the price of gas. So we know that our administration went over to the Middle East last week with hat in hand and begged for more oil production because we're being really hurt with the price of gas and oil. Can you believe it? We went over there and begged for it. Well, you know, those things don't come without concessions, right? Well, sure, we'll increase. Well, now, you and I will never hear any of this. We'll never hear the whole story, but sure, we will increase, production. But you will need to give us this. You will need to do that. When our own country, just 2 years ago, year and a half ago, was energy independent. We were independent. We didn't rely on any other country for gas, oil. But now we do. And we're over there begging for it. So, you know, doesn't that kind of make you feel embarrassed? Ashamed that you were once a member of a really strong country that was respected, and now you're almost being made fun of because of your leader and his policies. Okay, but let's move on from that, okay? I don't want to... There's going to be people, no matter what you say, are going to say, I love him. Okay, well, you know, okay. Give me your side. Give me your side of this. Every time I come out into the garden, I'm reminded of the changes that are taking place in the way we produce food. And how food is going to change in the very near future. So, you know, you guys, if you do just a little bit of investigating, you'll see that land in the United States is owned primarily by private investors, private owners. Well, you might say, that is wonderful. I didn't know that. Thank you, Re-Ritten. I never knew that. That's good to know. I'm happy about that. Well, see, here's the thing. Out of those private investors, there's only like 50. It isn't me. It isn't... I just own a little over an acre. You know, it isn't my parents, and they own, you know, maybe 6 to 8. There's about 50 landowners or corporations in the United States that own most of the acreage here where we live. Bill Gates owns more land in the United States than anybody else. Next to him is Jeff Bezos. So Jeff Bezos owns the majority of land in the United States. Ted Turner. So a lot of liberal thinkers are snatching up land in the United States. The second largest owners of land in the United States is government. So you have government, you have liberal business owners buying up the land. So as they're doing that, food production is going to change. That's the whole point of it. And we're going to see less and less available beef, poultry, pork. We're going to start seeing more and more plant-based foods. And because of that, you're going to see the prices go up on beef, poultry, pork, to where only people who are rich or, you know, I would say middle class, but middle class is you know, becoming poor as well with these decisions. So you guys, and then the next biggest landholder is indigenous peoples and foreign countries. China, Russia, they own a lot of land in the United States. So you have private owners, and there's only about 50. Then you have the government, indigenous people, tribes, which, you know, you would say, great. Great, they're a sovereign nation. They can make their own decisions. Do you really think so? Do you really think that's what's happening? I don't. I don't think we're helping them out now any more than we were supposed to be getting them supplies to their trading posts. So you're having government choose what you're doing with your land. And when you start giving your ability to grow food and go to work and buy things at an affordable price, you're giving away your freedom. I feel like we're sacrificing our freedom. So there are a lot of people right now that are struggling with the price of gas. So they can't go on vacations. They have to save their gas for, you know, to and from work, taking the kids to school. Now we've had a little reprieve. I mean, we've been celebrating, right? Because we've seen the price of gas go down maybe 20, 30 cents in the last several weeks. And we were told by the administration that we were going to get a reprieve, that our administration was going to open up the gas reserves to help us out. So when I heard that, I thought, oh, so they're going to open up the gas reserves and we're going to get the excess gas. Since we're not producing like we were. But that's not what happened to it. We sold it to China. We sold it to China, and we actually sold some to Russia, the country that we're trying to protect Ukraine against. So you guys, the more I talk about this, the more in the weeds I get. So here's another thing. Just came out today. And that is that, Dr. Fauci, who became famous during the pandemic, he has admitted that masks really aren't effective. But not only that, the vaccines aren't that effective. So even while they're still pushing vaccines for children under the age of 5, Dr. Fauci is now saying that vaccines aren't that effective. And he's getting ready to retire. Today, the other doctor, she was a female doctor that, you know, always wore a scarf. I can't think of her name, but she was always with Dr. Fauci when they would give press conferences, when Donald Trump would. She admitted today that she and Dr. Fauci were not truthful with President Trump about the virus, about treating the virus, about its origins, and she's getting ready to leave as well. So the people that were telling us to follow the science, listen to scientists, they know what they're talking about. We don't. We're not in the medical field. We're not scientists. We're just merely citizens of the United States. Now they're telling us that they didn't tell the truth. So my parallel to this with what we're going through today is, How do we know that global warming is real? If we're following the science, we're listening to scientists, and these same scientists could be lobbyists that are just telling us a lie to make more money for their countries and for their businesses. What do you guys think? So I kind of feel like with gas prices, with food scarcity that we're seeing, with the government's push to change farming as we know it, with things being revealed as far as what went on during the pandemic, with land purchases. Also too, in today's news, there's a naval base or an Air Force base, one of the two in the United States, that's throwing a fit because China has purchased a lot of land right next to the base. And so they're afraid they're going to use it for spying. You know, and how many times have we been scolded for asking questions? It's like, you know, don't ask questions. That's false information. You're spreading false information. Listen to the scientists. Listen to the people who know. Don't ask questions. Well, I have a question. Are we, as American citizens, being sacrificed? And by that I mean the things that we believe in, what we hold close, our history, how we choose to live our life, the things that we enjoy. Are we giving up all of those things? And if so, what are we giving them up for? I am happy to say that I just stuck my finger in a mole hole. So my fact-finding mission here in the corn yielded a good result. So I know where to stick that trap. So you guys, this is what I want to say. I love to learn. I love history. I love to learn. And I'm trying to learn everything I can about climate change and our place in the world and the history behind things and where we're going in the future. Like I said, I have grandkids. I'll have great grandkids one of these days. I have children, and I want a nice clean earth for them. I care about people, and I think that's why so many young people are really drawn to this idea and science or whatever, is that they want to help people too, and they really care about people too, and they see that the world is a lot bigger than them, and they want to be a part of that. They want to help other people. And I think it's a very noble cause. But I would like it based in fact, and so far I've not seen the facts, and I'm not willing to sacrifice the way we live as Americans if I don't have the facts. And if everything keeps coming up contradictory, you know, kind of like I said, the solar panels come from China, the wind turbines come from China, the wind turbine fans are made of fossil fuels. The components of solar panels are harvested from fossil fuels. So the cleanest energy we can get is nuclear energy. Why aren't we expanding on that? What will happen to all the cows? That's one of life's great questions. If cows are burping and their gas, when they have gas, it emits the greatest amount of greenhouse gases to our atmosphere. Will we have to slaughter all the cows to get rid of it? Will that be coming in the future? Cows become extinct? We replace meat production with different things, with plant-based things. Which is another point of what I'm trying to say, you guys, and I'm sorry if I'm getting about it in a roundabout way. We should have choices. If you wanted to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. If you don't, don't. If you want to eat meat, eat meat. If you don't, don't. If you want to have an electric car because you think that's the right thing to do, get one. If you don't, don't. If you want to grow your own food, do. If you don't, don't. That's what made America great. We had a choice. But now we're having these things forced on us. You must buy an electric car. And we're going to get rid of all these gas-guzzling vehicles within the next few years, even though we don't have a power grid that can support all of the electric cars that we expect people to buy. But not only that, people can't afford them. So you're going to have to ride your bike or walk or take public transportation or, you know, be forced into some other way of getting to work. Just think about these things, you know. I know I get carried away. I think about these things, and I have, like I said, I have to come out here and work it all out. You know, like, what about the people that that are always cold, like my mother-in-law? You know, I mean, the woman's always covered up in a blanket. I mean, maybe they like global warming. Doesn't mean everybody hates it just because some people do. And why do they call it red clover jelly if the clover's purple? Why did Miss Kitty stay with Marshal Dillon if he never kissed her? Hey, Marshall. 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 What about the...